They will never hold his feet to the fire. They will never demand accountability. Why? Because they're all in. Team Biden, the press, an extension of his press office. And for the next 28 days, they will do anything and everything in their power. They will carry the very weak, the very frail, the very corrupt candidate, if they can, over the finish line if you allow that to happen. For example, during a recent Biden town hall, NBC, well, they featured a so-called undecided voters who actually came out against Donald Trump in a previous appearance on MSDNC. Yeah, that would be called a lie and a charade and fake news. So tonight, throughout the hour, we will highlight the questions that apparently nobody in the media is willing to even ask. We will vet Joe Biden. We will do their job, as we always do. We'll investigate his corruption, his lies, his record of failure, because right now, Joe, well, he seems to think that he's accountable to nobody. For example, yesterday, during a rare occasion in Miami, when a reporter actually tried to ask one single unscripted question, Biden called that reporter obnoxious and flat out refused to answer a question about COVID-19. But are you really surprised? His minders in the Democratic Party, they never want him to go off script, because when he does, well, disaster usually ensues. Now, over the course of the campaign, we've all witnessed Joe become increasingly overwhelmed, increasingly agitated and irritable when he is faced with unexpected questions. And we've got the videotape evidence. Let's go to the videotape, as Warner Wolf would say.
The radical left, will you shut up, man?
Specifically, have you taken a cognitive...
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, you take a test whether you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. And I went on the floor and got you votes. I got votes for that bill. I convinced people to vote for it. So let's get those things straight, too. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Didn't know what you said? Get your words straight, Jack. And you want to check my shape on? Let's do push-ups together, big man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take it.
Come on, man, you a junkie? Want to have a push-up contest? You know, calls the woman a lying, dog-faced pony soldier, asking an African-American reporter, what are you, come on, man, are you a junkie? You got a cocaine test? Come on, man. Is this how a healthy, stable, intelligent person responds to questions? No. Has the media highlighted this? No. And in one puzzling moment, only yesterday, Joe had some really creepy, weird things to say about, well, the children attending his event. Take a look.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too. So it's great to see you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, COVID is at least preventing him from sniffing their hair, which has been a past practice. And when Biden isn't being creepy or getting agitated or calling people junkies or hiding in his basement or screaming, come on, man, or not remembering the Declaration, well, he's trying his best to execute an age-old Democratic strategy. We see it every 2 years. We see it every 4 years. Democrats, they divide Americans with a never-ending stream of identity politics. Republicans are racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic. They want dirty air, water. They want grandma and grandpa to eat dog food till Donald Trump or Donald Trump looks like a lookalike throws them over the cliff in their wheelchair. But recently, during one sloppy attempt to pander to minorities, Biden was the one who sounded, well, in the words of Michelle Obama from yesterday, racist. Take a look.
The American public, the blinders have been taken off. They've all of a sudden seen a hell of a lot clearer. They've seen, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf. Or I got a young Hispanic is out there, these dreamers are out there, 60,000 of them acting as first responders and nurses and docs. Or all of a sudden people are realizing, my Lord, you know, these people have done so much, not just black, white, across the board.
Which brings us to an important set of unanswered questions. When will the mob and the media, when are you ever going to hold him accountable for his troubled history on the issue of race in America? For example, all my friends in the mob, does Joe regret authoring the '94 crime bill that led to the mass incarceration of minorities? Does he regret calling minorities in inner cities predators on our streets? Does Joe regret praising the former Ku Klux Klansman Robert Byrd, his friend and his mentor? Does he regret eulogizing Byrd at his funeral? Does he regret any of that? Does Joe regret fighting against racial integration of our schools and efforting with segregationists? And by the way, again, forming an alliance and partnership with the former Klansmen to stop the integration of schools? Will any of you in the mob ever ask him why he regretted and worried that his kids would grow up in a, quote, racial jungle if there was integration in school? Does Joe still stand by the statement, quote, you ain't black if you vote for Donald Trump? And what did Joe Biden mean when he said that the Latino community is diverse, unlike the African-American community? Why did Biden say you can't go to a 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent? What did he mean when he called Obama the first mainstream, African-American who's articulate, bright, and clean, and a nice-looking guy? Wow, that's storybook, man. Why did Joe Biden lie about endorsements from the NAACP? Why did he lie about attending Delaware State, a historically black college? Why did he lie about marching in the civil rights movement? And despite all of those serious questions, former First Lady Michelle Obama wants all of you to believe that Donald Trump's a racist. And by the way, also wants you to know that the ongoing nationwide riots that we've been witnessing with our own eyes has been overwhelmingly peaceful. No, they haven't been. Take a look.
They're stoking fears about black and brown Americans, lying about how minorities will destroy the suburbs, whipping up violence and intimidation, and they're pinning it all on what's been an overwhelmingly peaceful movement for racial solidarity. It's true. Research backs it up. Only a tiny fraction of demonstrations have had any violence at all. So what the president is doing is once again patently false. It's morally wrong. And yes, it is racist.
Okay, don't believe your lying eyes. Michelle Obama, this was going on all summer long. We saw what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We saw Portland. We saw Seattle. We saw New York. We saw there were at least, 100 million